Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure, where today, before we do anything, we need to have a quick discussion about something very important, and that is, goodness me, there's a lot of spiders out here. I saw them outside the window. I didn't know there was 2 of them, though. Kind of got the jump on me there a little bit. Kind of surprised me a wee bit. Kind of shocked me a tad. A little hair of surprise. But the thing that I wanted to discuss is time. We're very close to the end of this series. We've just about done it, Deadpool. It's almost over, which is, I mean, thank goodness for it. But with that in mind, I wanted to talk about what the final few episodes of this series are going to look like throughout the remainder of the month of November and December, because that's unfortunate. That I really thought I was going to be able to kill him, and that just ended about as bad as it could possibly have gone. That is upsetting. Part of me is tempted now to restart the episode, but I'm not going to. I'm going to charge forward, because it actually kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about anyway, which is time, and how in order to complete everything that I want to do, it's going to take a lot of time. But I have no idea how to start this conversation. I did not think it through prior to this. Is that how it's supposed to be? Was maybe that a little bit too straight across? I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that's perfectly fine. In fact, I'm sure that's ideal. This is not going well. This is not going well at all. We really need to reconsider how we're structuring this episode. I'm considering restarting now. No. We're doubling down. We're getting through this. Let me just patch this up, though, because I'm really distraught by this. I'm really upset by how badly this got destroyed right out the gate, and I really wish I'd thought to get more dirt, but that's okay. Gosh darn it. Something like that probably is how it was. I don't know. We're redoing it all in the future anyway, so we might as well just do that. And say, hey, you know what, there you go. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter ultimately. All of that's going to get kind of scaled over a bit. Scaled over is not the right term, that's not the right word. It's going to be smoothed out. Like, all of that's going to fold down in front of that in the future. And all of this road here is probably going to go away. I haven't decided that 100%, but after finishing yesterday's episode, I realized I didn't like the way the dirt hit the stone there. So, between episodes, like, literally after I was done filming, I came back and I added a bit more of a bump there to try to smooth it out a little bit, but I think I ultimately ended up making it worse. Like, here's what it looks like head-on. I don't think it's bad. I think there just needs to be an extra layer of stone up there, and maybe a bit more of a round top on top of the massive cave. Listen, I'm changing the way I record episodes. Let me get this sentence out. Let me get, not even a sentence, this paragraph. Let me get this thought out of my head. The last episode took 3 hours to record. The episode that you saw yesterday, where we built the cave and all of that, was a 3-hour endeavor. And that was okay when the series started, because I wanted each episode to be its own contained thing. We started off with an idea, and throughout the course of the episode, we made that idea a reality by working on it one piece at a time, and it was fine, you know? There would be episodes that were 20 minutes long, there would be episodes that were over an hour long, and they took various different lengths to record, but as we get towards the end of the year, I'm realizing I can't keep that up. That's a lot of crunch, especially at a time of the year where there's a lot going on. You know, you got a lot of family stuff going on. Thanksgiving and Christmas, all the holidays. There's a lot of birthdays in the last couple of months of the year for my family. And I cannot be dedicating an upwards of 3 hours to some of these projects. I'm looking at the ziggurat. The idea was that we would go finish the ziggurat in a single video. And I'm realizing now that that's going to take multiple hours. And I feel like to wrap up the year, we need to change the way that we've structured these, okay? So here's what I'm doing, and I've already started it. A few years ago, we did a series called, what was it? I think this was 2019. It was the Minecraft 25-25-25 Challenge. 25 episodes over the course of 25 hours, 25 minutes each. And it was Tech It Legends, and the challenge was I would just sit down, start a 25-minute timer, do as much as I could in 25 minutes, and that was the episode. And they came out 1 hour each, and it took me like a month, over a month of lead up to get all of these episodes ready before launching that series. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. But what I learned was that when you had a timer, it made focusing on completing certain tasks and getting them done in a way that was economical in terms of time investment, much easier. And so for the remainder of this series, while I'm glad I didn't do this for the entire year, but for the remainder of the next, month and a bit, we're going to be doing that with this series. I'm going to sit down, we're going to start with a 30-minute timer. We might expand it to 45 minutes or an hour, but I'm basically going to start that timer, and we're going to do as much as we can do within that time limit. And when the time limit is up, that's it for the episode. If that means we don't finish the project we're working on as part of that episode, that's fine. These are going to be much less, they'll still be called episodes, or days. I guess they were never called episodes. But, they're going to much more transition towards being vlogs, or vlogs, right? The style of a vlog, or a project vlog. I'm trying to come up with, the best term for it, but it's every day, here's a vlog, a project update on where we are in the Minecraft 2025 world. Here's a video of what I did that day, even if it doesn't make, and it bothers me when they don't make complete stories. That is the reason why this took 3 hours, because every time I got to a point where I was I can stop now, I was I want this to have some sort of finished thing that we can look at and say, and there it is, I wanted to be able to say, look, we're done with this project. And that is why I just kept going and going and going and pushing and pushing and pushing and saying, no, not until we have something that is complete. And that's why I worked to finish the entire cave. I'm glad with how the last episode turned out. I just can't put that much time into all of the, 30, 40-ish, 45 remaining episodes. How many days are left till the end of the... Hey, Siri, how many days are left till the end of the year? Yeah, 40 days left till the end of the year. I simply cannot do that for the next 40 days, so we're going to do this timer situation instead. And I actually went ahead and I've already started the timer. We've been going for just south of 8 minutes, about 7.5 minutes for today's episode. Now, these episodes will still be edited, which means that some episodes will be the entire 30 minutes of me yapping and yakking and talking about stuff, and other episodes might get trimmed down to the beginning and the end, and they're 5 minutes long, and that's okay. As for what we're doing today, I figured we'd go ahead. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to proceed over here. One of the ideas that I had was that if I want to make this mountain bigger so that the front of it looks a little better and it's not so bleh, what I might do is go ahead and build some kind of a structure here, like an entrance, a gate sort of a situation. So we have the portcullis be here, and I have an idea of how I want to design that to make it look like it is actually raised up into the mountain. And then we have a sort of a little fortress sort of a thing, maybe a tower to one side and maybe a tower to both sides, and another gate here, and then the road splits in two different directions, and then there's an actual, maybe a door further in, or a door there, maybe the portcullis is there. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought it through 100%, but in any case, we'll probably end up extending the island out a little bit further to make way for it. And then what that means we can do is inside of here, where this currently just goes kind of into the ground and doesn't really leave much room for... Well, I mean, we could just extend this out a little bit and then build up the front of the mountain and have it make a couple of hills or something along those lines. Alternatively, what we can do is we can bring all of this down, just have a staircase and then a dirt road that leads back over here. Or maybe we just don't do any of that, and we just kind of leave it exactly as it is, and we just extend to the front of the mountain out a little bit more. And in fact, now that I'm looking at it, that might work out just fine. Just extend the front out of the cave, I should say, a little bit more, out and down. Maybe even have it come out to a point in the middle. That might look kind of silly. Might make it look like it's a hooked nose sticking out of the front of the mountain or something like that. And then that way, all of that, literally to fix the issue, the perceived issue that I have of that dirt being on too sharp an angle and feeling like I need a bit more stone there and a bit more stone on top. We can go ahead and do that. I just don't want the corner here to touch anything for some reason. It's completely nonsensical, right? These are problems that exist solely within my own mind, but they are problems that exist within my mind that I have to deal with. And then in the future, we're also going to have, I think, a staircase going up here and then up there. And then first thing I want to do is I want to experiment with having a portcullis here. But what I can't decide is whether or not there's going to be. It can't just be a hole here, right? This can't just be what this is. There has to be a better way to form this entrance. And maybe that's what I'm focusing on for the next 20 minutes, is figuring out a better way to style this entrance. It should be in the style of the other entrances. I don't know why I'm going over there. I haven't built that one yet. The other one is over here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly over here. I'm going to get a picture of this entrance with my phone, and that way I can use it as inspiration for the front. I just don't think that I want to have a single door there, because the way that I view that entrance is that that is where heavy, large objects are moved in and out of the base, right? If this is our mountain home where we do a lot of like weapons manufacturing, this is where all the iron golems are manufactured. Oh, sweet heavens. I'm not even going to try. Let's go to bed. I should have put down more torches over there and I didn't, but this is where everything gets wheeled in from. And so with that in mind, I want it to have a big entrance, but I want it to look like it matches with the rest of the house. I want it to have that same sort of aesthetic. So I've got a list now, just looking at my phone here, of the materials that are used elsewhere throughout the house in order to build these sorts of structures. And my phone has now gone to sleep with the picture on it for some reason. So I've got to unlock it. But for some reason, when I have the microphone on my face, it's like, I don't recognize you. I don't know who you are. Part of your upper lip is obscured by a BPHS-1 headset from Audio-Technica. Who are you? I'm locking down! I've long since typed in the password in case that wasn't clear. I've got it open here. I'm having a look. I don't want a door, so we're not going to do a door. But basically, it's all of these things. And then it is also some of this here, which makes sense, like some of that. And then we'll need to get some of these. I could take these over there, or I could just do this, and that's fine too. And then also some more of this. Some more of this is good. And plenty of this. And then my idea to have the portcullis look like it was going into a black abyss where there was more of it, I don't know why I went over there, it's definitely over here somewhere, was to use concrete, because I thought concrete would look jet black. In fact, we've experimented with that before, and we know that it does in fact look jet black. And decide, where is concrete at? Which one of these blocks is concrete? Why can I never remember? Is that concrete? That's black concrete powder. Ah, that's what I'm looking for right there. The stuff that looks like an infinite void. So, forget everything I said moments ago about having some sort of a structure or a building out the front. We're just going to make a big door. The bridge goes to a door because we're never going to be attacked by our local villager friends. I'm not messing up again. Yeah, no. This is called a moment. The hour of redemption is upon us. That's what this is. Nope, that's a rocket. The hour of redemption is upon us! Ah, I failed the hour of redemption! Why am I bad at this? Why am I bad? Now there's a hole I gotta fill in. It might not get filled in till tomorrow. Dang it! I hate it! Where's the torches? Hold on. I think that the pressure of knowing that I've got a time limit on today's episode is making me act up. I think if I wasn't thinking about it, everything would be going much more smoothly right now. But I'm thinking about it! Okay. Let's see if we can't figure this out. A door. How hard could this be? Well, first off, we're going to trim the front of the mountain to be the same as this side. Or, we're going to bring this side of the... No, yeah, we're going to do what I just said. And we'll reshape the mountain as needs be to make it look natural again. But we're now exposing dirt that has been covered up since the spawning of the world. There we go. That's what we're looking for right there. And so we're going to remove these pieces here, and we're going to replace them with... Did anyone else hear a creeper just then? It must have been my imagination. It must not have been real, because there's not a creeper. But we're going to put these here. This is all part of the transition. And then out front, we have this, like so. Or do we? I'm thinking about it now. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I was gonna say we could bring them in one, right? So that it is a bit more narrow than the passage on the inside. How much space do you really need? I think that maybe, but if we have it right there, we obscure the stone brick there. But do we really need stone brick there? What purpose does the stone brick there serve? Oh, well, there's going to be the whole structure behind it, of course. So this might end up getting moved ahead. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take it down now, with the assumption that it is, in fact, getting moved ahead. And goodness me, that created a mess under there, didn't it? I'm walking you through my entire thought process on this. I'll just go ahead and use that there. That's fine. So that's going to come out there. This is going to end here. This is going to be the new point of termination. So there's that. That's where that ends. And through there will be where the gate is, the portcullis. I'm trying to figure out now, though. Like, there's a step down. All of that's going to have to be deep slate tile here. I'm not sure anymore. To be clear, I don't have a... Sometimes I talk about how I have a vision in my head of where this is going to go. Like a foggy picture. I have nothing for this one. I have no clue at all what this is going to end up looking like. I have zero plans whatsoever. I need you to understand this is not a bit. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. I have no picture in my mind. I'm just looking at the picture on my phone and thinking, okay, so the picture on my phone has fences doing this, which does shrink the entrance a little bit, and that is okay. And then this up here has got to go for a couple of levels. This is the only part of the design that I do have any idea of what I kind of want it to look like. We're going to have this up here be where the black concrete is located. And this one, you may or may not have an idea of where I'm going with it, but you'll see. You'll see. We don't actually need that to be black concrete. That's actually fine the way that it is. So we don't have magical jumping powers here. We have to run slightly further into the house until we are close enough to what gives us our powers back there, the beacon. We should add another beacon. We'll add it to the middle of the bridge or something like that. But there we go. I got super jump now. I can get that piece. And then we're going to have the metal come down like a portcullis. That's the... I don't know if I've explained that, in case you don't know what that is. That's the metal bar that goes up and down. I hope, unless I've been saying the wrong thing this whole time. But when you look up in there, it should just look like a black void once all of this is built. I might need to break these blocks so that it's not connecting to either side, or maybe it doesn't really matter all that much. But the next thing we need to start doing is we need to start putting down the stairs. And you know what would probably make all of this a lot easier? Is if I had some scaffolding, and maybe more room in my inventory, because things are getting a little out of hand already. Things are getting a little wild at Caillou's house. That is one of my favorite videos on the internet. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And maybe it's best if you don't. Okay, see, now here's the issue. That has to be part of the black... Well, no, hold on. That doesn't need to be part of the Black Abyss. Just the top does. So we can do away with that. We have to now decide what we want it to be instead. A dirt might look good from the front, but from the inside, not so much. Well. This is going to be tricky. I think we've just decided that the front is going to be a little taller than I've started making it. So break all of that away, raise that up by one. We'll do the... Gosh darn it. We've already lost magical jumping abilities. I'm sure you noticed. And a surprise to no one around here who knows how long the magical jumping abilities typically last. So there we go. That can be like that. And then, yeah, it doesn't make sense for that to be a black void. It's always made more sense for that to be more stone block. Definitely not dirt. That was silly. Okay, so there is that. And then along the sides here. Oh, actually, yeah, looking at it, it looks like it has a stair. Oh, I see. I'm trying to go off the picture I took and just kind of recreate that here, but on a grander, larger scale. Because that's pretty much what this is. This is just the same thing that we've got on the other parts of the house, just larger. Just a bigger version of it. Oh, jeez, that scared me. It's like, what am I bumping into, and why hasn't it blown up yet? We're good. Everything is fine. No need to panic. We're not going to have this come up to a massive arch, I don't think. Maybe it should, but I'm worried that it'll look too goofy. So you're coming along here. You have the... It kind of looks a little bit goofy. We might have to change some of the design language, some of the design stylings. For the most part, like, it's obviously was never going to be a one-to-one. So that across there cannot be stairs, because it has to obscure the black concrete. So that's going to have to be either stone brick, or pale oak, or pale oak. I think that it would make the most sense for it to be stone brick, based on other design. you know, that we're kind of basing everything off of. And this might be where we could get a little clever and have a little fun and do a wee bit of a pattern, right? So what if we took the stairs and we did one of these, okay? Nothing special, nothing fancy, but just adds a little depth to the structure. Makes it look a little different. And then when you come in here, you see how that looks kind of like it's going up into a void, and there could reasonably, in the shadows, be more metal that drops down. Maybe it rolls up like a garage door to explain why there's only like a couple of blocks of extra space above it. I don't know. You let me know how you're going to make this work in the lore. All right, it's up to you now. I'm outsourcing reason and logic. Because of course I am. And then across the front here, I think we'll have it... I mean, we'd only need to go up one more to have it go up to the same sort of point that we've got on all of the other ones. So I don't see why we don't just do that. Oh, jeez, that's not what I meant to do. That could have been a look, though. That might have been something. So the rest of this can be topped off with grass for now. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'd like it to, you know, go all the way up to butting into grass there, but we'll see. Yeah, actually, we probably do need a light up here. Also, we need more dirt. So I will go ahead and not do that. That was a mistake. That was an accident. That was a foolish mistake and an accident. I didn't realize I had a whole stack of dirt in there, though. There we go. Yeah, so these are going to go up like that. And then the rest of the structure is... That's the problem, is the roof is kind of hard to get a read on. The whole thing is hard to get a read on, honestly. Because I think the stairs at some point do a weird thing where they turn in like this. I'll have to go back and look at them. The picture is not clear. I think that actually... Well, that was an accident. That wasn't supposed to happen. I think that actually, yeah... This is okay. I'm kind of okay with this. This is going to have to be redone to have maybe just another one up top there. Let's break this so that I can actually place one of these down here. And in case you were wondering, we've got plenty of time. We're at 7 minutes. We've got all the time in the world. I thought I heard something scary. I did just sleep, so we shouldn't have sky demons coming after us. What if we did something different with the stairs? What if we did this instead? Where we've got that happening. Now, I don't like how it looks at the very bottom, though. I don't know if we can reverse the whole thing, or if one of them is just going to have to go in the other direction, or it'll look funky. But let's see. No, that's not what I meant to do. That's almost exactly what we had before. Gosh darn you. I'm getting frustrated now. Thank you. Yeah, that might be the look, except I would want that block there. I was going to say I would want that block to also be stone. We can absolutely have it be that way. There's nothing preventing us from doing so. I don't think it's going to clash with the rest of the design either, depending on what I do across the front here. And I think what I'm going to do across the front here is maybe that. Maybe something like that. That means it's not quite the same as the others, but it was never going to be quite the same, or exactly. It was going to be quite similar. Never exactly the same. And never exactly the same was... That was never a part of the arrangement. That was never a part of the goal. I think that it's actually turned out quite nice. The only thing I might change is these here. They're like that on the other entrances, but I think it looks better on the other entrances because there is stone behind them. Oh, heavens. You scared me. I wasn't expecting you, and I don't know why. Skeletons, too. We should probably go to bed. We should probably go to sleep, and just in the morning we'll continue this project. But I did want to grab some stone wall, some stone brick wall, because I think that might be the better bet here. Yeah, I think that's going to work out well. Oh, I did want to say real quick, I got a great comment from someone asking for, like, ambient music in the background, and I think it's a good idea. The reason I don't add it is because I like to have the Minecraft music on when I'm playing, and before we upgraded to 1.21.10, we had something called Simple Music Control, which allowed me to change the frequency of Minecraft music playing. So I had it set to about 60 seconds after a song plays, start playing another Minecraft song, and that was nice, but that hasn't been updated for the latest version of Minecraft, so we don't have that anymore. I'll have to check. It might have been by now. It wasn't when I was getting everything set up, but I would like to hope that by now it has been, and if not, that's okay. You know what? Making mods is hard. Never want someone to be pressured into it. I'm trying to figure out now, though, if we should change this. We'll have a quick fly around to look at this side. Whee! You can kind of see, I always liked what we did here because it made the... Can I jump up on that? Yeah. Oh, I should be able to. No, it's slightly over two. No, we did it. Well, heaven help me. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that's what we did. We just used slabs on these sides. And this is a stair, and then this is a slab. Okay. Well, in that case, let's just maybe do that again. Because I think we probably could, and it would look a little less goofy than what we've currently got. So this becomes a slab. Time becomes a loop. I don't have any slabs. Well, these both also become slabs, which I, again, still just do not have, so I'll have to go in and grab them. It's a race against the clock, though. Here's the... I am comfortable, you know, I've made my rules. I'm comfortable bending the rules for a project that we're close to finishing. So we've got 3 minutes and 34 seconds as of this exact moment. And I think I actually have... You know what? I could have just made some out of the objects in my inventory. This was a silly waste of time. I don't need to bring one with me. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I don't need a crafting table. I just need slabs. What am I doing? It's the timer. It's the time. It's at 3:13, by the way. If we're close to finishing it and it's like a difference of a couple of minutes, I'll go a couple minutes over. Not going to be overly particular about that. I'm talking about if we're finishing up, you know, getting close to the end of a video, or we've reached the 30-minute mark and we're a quarter of the way through a project. Oh, that does look much better. That looks so much better. Okay, let's get rid of all these. Patch that back up. Move you out of the way. We'll put all these back in there in a minute, but get all this cleared out. We're going to have to go back up there to finish patching up the dirt in a moment. But I wanted to experiment a little bit, like I said, with walls and placement of other blocks. So what if we took the stone brick wall and we built that up along the sides there? Yeah, see, I think that just looks a bit better. I think that just looks a bit better overall. And then maybe along the front, the only issue I have with having this here is that it terminates into nothingness, which is easy enough to fix by putting like a full block there. But I think I would actually hate the way that looks. I think that would be repulsive and repugnant. Now, I think it makes the entrance look a little too boxy. So, and don't get me wrong, Boxy was very charming back in the day when she was just like an internet character that we all thought was quirky and interesting. But I don't like it for the style that we have going for us right now. A couple of these to the corners. And look at that. That is an entrance to be proud of. I'm pleased with that. Ooh. I was going to say, I think one thing that needs to be different is this block right here, much like this one over here, needs to have a brick behind it. There we go. There's your thumbnail, Reese. Reese in the future. There's your thumbnail. Take that picture, buddy. You did it, and you got 1:13 left to spare. What are you going to do with that extra time? I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it, Reese from the future. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to dig up the grass, because even though grass will eventually, like, dirt will eventually turn into grass, or grass, when you put dirt on top of it, what I'm trying to say is will eventually turn back into just being dirt. Why is sentence hard? Why is sentence hard? Sometimes sentence too hard hurt brain. How to do building shape. It's gonna look rough no matter what, isn't it? Oh geez, 36 seconds. Okay, hold on. No, these are gonna go. We're gonna have that be like, have that be like that. Why is inventory like this? Hold on. Put down stuff chest. Put random stuff in stuff chest. So have room in inventory. Collect chests. 12-second remaining before timer go off. Oh, yeah, that's fine for now. Grass will grow up there, and we'll probably end up resculpting the entire mountain. It's not going to be that hard. And I don't know if that came through on the recording, but I just got a screech in my ears. No, it's not recording desktop audio. Darn it! Well, in the future, you will hear that. I have desktop audio turned on now. We will probably come back and have all of this, like I said, swoop down a little bit more naturally. And if we do decide to bring the front of the cave out a bit more, which I'm thinking we probably will, that does mean that we can move that road both that way some more, and, well, I was going to say and that way some more, but it doesn't need to go back that way anymore. It just needs to come out maybe to right here to get us a bit more space to have that flow down a little bit more naturally. I keep using the term naturally. It's all going to be artificial, but, you know. And then we're going to have our staircase. And I think what we'll probably do is we'll build the staircase first and then reshape the territory for it to make sense in the future. But for now, I like how this turned out. I feel like it's missing something. I don't know what. Comment down below if you have any ideas. I just feel like there needs to be something else right here. Maybe a banner or two. We don't have any banners. Banners would be cool. I think I like that idea a lot. Should we have walls across here as well? No, that just kind of looks silly and also hides the portcullis bars. But if you have any ideas, let me know. Oh, shoot! No, I am going to fix this before we sign out for the day. Because that's bad. Not leaving things like that at all. Refuse, basically. There we go. Much better. Much, much better. Like the way this turned out. Think it looks good. Let me know your thoughts. And until next time, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Goodbye!